Nearly a week ago, our city took a deep breath, was forced to dive into a pool of uncertainty and fear.
City leaders slowly tried to bring a sense of normalcy to the Boston area tonight. This as many Bostonians prepare to head back to work. Good evening, everyone. I'm Nikki Gaskins. Tomorrow marks 1 week since the terror bombings at the city's marathon. In the wild days that followed, the city has seen manhunts, lockdowns, and shootouts, all under a national microscope. With one suspect dead and the other a prisoner in a hospital bed, investigators certainly have a long road ahead of them. Brandy Hitt has more tonight from Boston. And support for Boston spreads all across the country. Here in Charleston, a small group run to honor the victims turned into something much more this morning. Word of the Charleston run took off on social media. About 700 people showed up at Colonial Lake to run for Boston, nearly doubling the number of anticipated runners in just one day. ABC News 4's Ava Wilhite was there and has our story tonight. It wasn't just runners in Charleston honoring the city of Boston. There was overwhelming support in London's marathon today. Over the past week, many feared a repeat attack in London's race because of the size and magnitude of that event. But runners in London wouldn't let that attack scare them away.
How can you not run?
There was increased police presence at the London Marathon, but no issues or threats were reported. And that heavy wind created some problems for drivers going across the Wando Bridge earlier this afternoon. An overturned trailer blocked several lanes on 526 East. Several kayaks were also scattered across the roadway, causing some traffic delays for drivers. Aviation officials say you should expect some flight delays across this country starting today. This as the FAA starts automatic spending cuts mandated by Congress. FAA officials say there was no way to avoid it. The spending cuts will affect air traffic control towers, but officials say some airports will feel the effects more than others. And here in Charleston, FAA officials say we won't be affected too much by this. In a statement today, officials say Charleston International is not among the airports that we expect to see some serious delays on a daily basis. However, air traffic controllers at all of our facilities will be subject to furloughs. Depending on the time of day, the weather, and traffic conditions at other airports, it's possible that delays still could affect flight schedules. And to some news now on the District 1 special election. Elizabeth Colbert Bush went door to door this afternoon, meeting the residents of West Ashley. Now just 2 weeks away from the special election, her opponent, Mark Sanford, has criticized her for only agreeing to a one debate with him. The Democrat shied away from criticism when asked about it earlier today. The debate is just over a week away at the Citadel. Sanford spent the day at the Heritage in Hilton Head. He'll be back in the Lowcountry campaigning tomorrow. Well, coming up on ABC News 4 at 11, Twitter adds a new music service to its roster. The details a little later in the show. But first, meteorologist Aaron Kinsel has your full forecast for that week. That coming up next after the break. And welcome back. James Island County Park was the place to be this weekend for all you outdoorsy people. The East Coast Paddle Sports and Outdoor Festival featured a ton of activities for beginners and the experienced, from kayaking to paddleboarding and archery. The festival was previously known as the East Coast Canoe and Kayak Festival, but was expanded in 2013. Some other additions to this year's festival were slacklining, disc golf, and mountain biking. The festival is put on every year by Charleston County Parks. In tech news tonight, Twitter adds a music service to its roster. Karen Kafa has the details with her Clicked-In report. Coming up next in sports, we're going all over the state for college baseball from today. And the final round of the Heritage on Hilton Head Island goes to a playoff. Scott Eisberg with that and more next in Sports 4.